All right, we're live. It's Thursday evening, 8 o'clock, and we're on schedule.
Nice,
Got Den-
nice.
I'm Cole House, and we got Dennis of Vergara Bulls.
How's it
Yeah,
going?
Vergara Bulls, American Bulldogs.
Yes.
Yeah. So, tell us about it, bro. Tell us how you got started.
Well, um, I started in 2014. That's when I got my first American Bulldog. Um,
Okay.
I didn't know the breed. One of my buddies, he calls me and he's like, "Hey, man, they got Bulldogs for sale." So I'm like, "Oh, cool." I'm like, "Let's go get one." I'm like, "All right." We show up. The guy brings them out, and I'm like, I was expecting an English Bulldog. And I'm like, "What is that?" He's like, "Oh, this is an American Bulldog." He's like, there's different types of bulldogs, and this is the bigger version of a bulldog. Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know if it was a Johnson type or a standard type at that time. I didn't know the difference. Finally, I take it home. I'm like, well, I'm here. I came for a bulldog. Might as well. Let's take it. And it was a
Okay.
female. Her name was Monroe. Um, Kind of the first year went by, kind of started knowing the breed a little bit more. And the same breeder I bought her from kind of became my mentor, started asking him more about the breed and stuff. And 2015, we had our first litter. And
Okay.
since then, it just, I fell in love with the breed, became my passion, and here we are.
That's what's up. Tell me about that first. Tell me about that first dog a little bit. What did it for you about her?
You know what? It was her temperament, honestly. Man, she was lovable, but she had that instinct to protect. So she had that on and off switch. So what made it, I was really kind of fall for her. It was that, man, how she took care of my nieces and nephews, how she acted with them. Like she was gentle with the kids, and uh,
Okay.
and she had that need to protect them. So, quick story. Um, my nieces are playing. They're 2 years old. They're playing in the front yard. She's there watching them. My brother decides to come inside the house. He leaves the gate open. So they're playing around, and I could see them through the window. So they start walking towards the gate. And tell you this, we have a main street, so there's cars passing. And she gets up and kind of runs towards them, and she starts kind of pushing them with her head, like, "Okay, this is not the way to go." So she starts pushing them inside the house. They started crying because they were like, "Oh, she's trying to bite me." And I'm like, "No, no, she's not. She's making sure that you guys don't get out."
Yeah.
So after that, oh, my sister was so grateful. She's like, "Oh, I love this dog. She's so good." So that kind of pushed me to breed, because I wanted something like that. So I'm like, you know what? Let me start breeding, and hopefully I could lock that trade,
Mm-hmm.
and so far so good. Yeah, I kind of like bred on her, and I could say the temperament of my dogs, it's what I wanted.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know that you went through and saw how to joyride the screen. You got some pictures of her on your computer?
You know what? I
It,
might,
it,
yeah.
I know that's on the spot. If you don't got any, it's
Yeah.
cool. But
Yeah, no. Let me see if I can do something.
yeah. I'll give you a second. Let you cook.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's awesome, bro. Temperament's big with these dogs. You
No,
know,
they are, honestly.
even the oldies are not as big as the ABs, but they're still strong. They're powerful animals. That
Mhm.
thing's it's gotta behave. It's gotta be along with the family.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
otherwise, I mean, oldies they get up to 100 pounds, a little over. We have a female that's 105 pounds,
Oh,
which
wow.
thank God her temperament is solid. Otherwise, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
You want that, yeah.
yeah. So
You know what, Cole? Man, I got so
okay,
much pictures in here that it's gonna take a minute to find them. But
yeah.
yeah,
No
let's
worries,
continue. Yeah, yeah.
no worries, no worries, no worries. So obviously, you started with a female.
Correct.
So where did you go to? Where'd you breed to? Where'd you go with her?
So I went back to the breeder. Tell you, he kind of became a mentor. And a
That's
lot of the
wisdom.
things, yeah, a lot of the things I learned it was from him. And I bred to one of his males, and I know that your brother just had a litter, and a lot of that blood that I use is on the sire side.
Yeah.
So I went with him. Beautiful pups that she produced. I kept one. I kept a female.
Okay.
You know, and then from there, I decided that I wanted to buy a male. But instead of going into the States, I went overseas. So I went and got
Mhm.
me a male um, diesel from Wero Evolutions up in Italy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Diesel.
diesel. Yeah, champion
We can.
mighty diesel.
Here we
So
go. Here.
see, pull him up.
Yeah. Yeah. He's not by himself in the picture, but he is in the picture. So
Okay, no, that's fine. Yeah.
it's one of your breeding banners.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yes.
So let's
Oh, there you go. Yep.
yeah, the pretty boy. Ooh wee.
Yeah. Yeah. I got him. I think a year after I had my girl, she gave me that litter, and then I bought him. I started following that breeder on Instagram. I love the dogs, and Diesel Sire is the dog that caught my attention. I was like, man, this dog is to me it was like, man, this dog is amazing. Like, let me reach out, and he did a breeding, and he's like, man, you're the first one that has contacted me. He's like, if you want a pup, send a deposit, and I'll give you first pick. So I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I got him, and then probably maybe 6 months after, I purchased Kalina, and I got her from the Netherlands.
Okay.
And yeah, so once both of them turned 2 years old, I tested for hips, joints, and any genetic diseases, and they came out clear. And I decided to do a breeding, and I bred them, and I kind of line bred on them too, with Monroe. With the female, I kept the female out of Monroe, and I bred her to Diesel.
Okay.
So so that's those are my dogs I started off with. Now I have multiple ones. There's a guy in Texas too that has Diesel's belly brother, and that's how we kind of became close because we found out that we were in the States, and we hit it off. And once he had a litter out of Diesel's belly brother, he hit me up and he's like, "Man, I got a female for you if you want her." Shit. I was like, "Don't say no more." I got on the
Right.
plane and went and picked her up, and she's been here with me, Dossie. So it's pretty good.
Okay. One thing you said that I like, and you said that you went back to the breeder that you got your first one from when you bought your
Correct.
second one.
Yes.
That's big. That's big because we don't at that point usually we don't know yet what
Correct.
exactly we're
Yeah.
working
Yeah.
with, and but they do. You know what I
No,
mean?
no,
So that's
definitely. Yeah. And he was pretty knowledgeable with the breed. Um, I kind of wanted to move forward more with his dogs, but he started getting into like the color dogs. Um, and since he showed me kind of the ropes of showing dogs and going to these dog shows, that interested me, So I'm like, I want to be part of that. So
yeah,
once reading the standard, no color dogs were allowed and stuff. So that's why there was a reason that I went overseas as well, because I'm like, well, this guy's following the standard. I kind of, want to get a dog from him and go from there. And, you know, now,
yeah,
I stick to the standard, and that's, I breed standard color.
yeah. Which are white and fawn.
Yeah, white, brindle, fawn and stuff. And, no solid blacks, no solid blues, no
Yeah,
lilacs. Yeah,
yeah. I hear you. They're nice dogs though.
they
Even
are. They're beautiful dogs.
color doesn't, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But
Yes.
I say that like this because I like, I grew up around lowriders and stuff, and I tend to like flashy things. So as
Again,
much as it
hey,
doesn't matter, you know what I mean?
yeah, no, it catches your attention. Obviously, the color
Yeah,
always catches your. That's the first thing when you're having a litter and you have color.
yeah.
The color puffs are the first thing you see. Like, oh man, look at this one.
But some things, when the substance is there, it don't matter. You
Correct.
know what I mean?
Yes.
Like if the dog is just big and bad enough, it don't matter at
Yeah.
all. Like I used to have a Corso, and he was just regular fawn with a black mask Corso. He wasn't a black one, a blue one, nothing. You know what I mean? People think that, oh, they're scarier looking. I seen plenty of people stop right where they were,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
didn't matter. It didn't matter that he wasn't black with an ear crop. You know what I mean?
No, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. And then you said you got your dogs overseas.
I did.
That's a little different than what you would expect to hear about American Bulldog. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. There's great breeders out there. During these years, I made some friends out there, and they're breeding pretty nice dogs out there. Um, and yeah, like I said, there's great breeders in the States, but that one dog, Diesel Sire, is the one that caught my eye that I was like, man, and there's a couple of YouTube videos of him in YouTube, and man, I'm telling you, if you see, you'll be like, okay, I kind of understand why you probably, you know, fixated on that dog, but he was incredible. He passed a couple of years ago, so you know,
Yeah. Yeah. We got a question here for you. You ready?
yeah.
It says, do you think that color hindered the bone on the dogs?
It all depends. It all depends because you got to see what's behind the dog, and you know, with color, there's a lot of terrier in there. So terriers don't have big, thick bone. So it depends how you follow the pedigree. With the American Bulldog, there was a big controversial about adding Greyhound in there. So, Greyhounds, they have thin bone, but they got that speed and stuff. And so it depends how you see it, as long as you see the pedigree, and if it's a correct pedigree, then, I'll say, yeah, maybe color does hinder the bone. But I could be wrong because I'll give an example. Martin from Fuerzas has this chocolate boy, and man, he's a monster. He's fully chocolate dog, and he's a big boy, and
Oh, it
he
was
has bone. Toy Story,
okay. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it all depends. Yep.
I don't think that any single thing like that would directly affect it. I think it's when you breed to it and you let other stuff go.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
when this is a better dog, but you use this one because he has that. You know what I
Correct.
mean? I think
So
it's more of
the
that.
key is selecting. Yeah, the key is selecting,
Yeah.
and then what you want to breed to.
Yeah. And if the right dog has that,
Correct.
cool. But
Yeah.
if not, you got to be able to say cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like nah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think personally more of that than anything, but only time tells.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
So talk to me about the types of American Bulldogs.
Well, there's a couple of types. The two well known. It's the Johnson type and the Scott type, right? But now we have they call it a hybrid type, and that's a mixture between, let's say, Johnson type and a Scott type. You mix those, then you get a hybrid type. But with that, it's crucial because there's going to be sometimes that you just get standard dogs, and you might just get bully dogs from the Johnson type.
Right.
But like myself, I have a Johnson type, bully type, bigger bone, heavier set. And so that's what I like. Some people might say these dogs don't, they don't work and stuff, but hey, they might not perform as the standards. They'll be able to do the job as them. It's just that they're not going to keep up just like,
Yeah.
what a standard will usually do.
So they do
Yeah,
the job. They're just done faster.
exactly. Yeah, it's just like a bodybuilder and somebody that works out. Bodybuilders
Okay.
are big, and but try to race with them. The guy that's slimmer, just the guy that works out, he's gonna beat him on a race.
Yeah. I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
So I mean, the Scott type, are they as popular as the Johnson type, the bully type, or is it
Um,
in pockets?
no, I think they both vary depending on the job that you want. If you want a performance dog, a lot of people go with the standard. If kind of they use them for bike work and like the French ring and stuff like that. Um,
Okay.
the bully type as well, they'll be able to do it, but um, I don't know if at the high level. I won't say they can't do it because I know they can, but
Yeah.
and it all depends. Honestly, I feel that both of them are popular. Because there's I know well-known breeders that they move their standard pups right away. You know, and I think there's times that you're gonna struggle to move dogs here and there, but same with the bully types. A lot of people like that wrinkly when they come out. And they move quick. You sell quick. So
Yeah. The more
it all depends.
squishy
Yes.
puppies. Yeah.
Yep. And it all depends on your market of how you move forward of promoting and exposing yourself out there.
Yeah.
That has to do a lot with it. You're your own marketing. So however you market your dogs, that's how things go.
Yeah. Yeah. I before I knew they were Johnson and Scott,
Yeah.
right? Before I knew the names, before I knew anything, I was just a dude looking at dogs. I always thought those were pit bull looking. Like a big old, that's a big old pit bull. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So I've always kind of been drawn to the bullier type, the Johnson type.
Yeah.
It's just more. It's what I would like more in a dog. You know what I mean?
And yeah, and it's all preference. Honestly, it's what you like. I like the bully type. Like the big bone dogs. Bigger head and stuff. But it's like I said, it's my preference. I'm feeding them, and that's what I like.
There you go. Hey,
Yeah,
I see dogs all the time I don't really like, but I don't feed it. I don't pick up his poop.
exactly.
I don't
Yep.
pay his vet bills. I got
Yep.
nothing to say. That's your dog.
Exactly.
You know what
Leave
I
it
mean?
alone. Yep.
Yeah.
If you don't like
Yeah.
it, pass that post and move on. Yep.
I have the right to remain silent.
Exactly.
Yeah. So let's pull up some pictures of some dogs here you got.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Hopefully I'm not going back for the same let's see. Let me get a good look at Diesel. So we see something else. Come on. I probably should have picked the picture first, huh? Oh, that's him
So
again.
with your oldies, Cole, um, what I know in a previous podcast you mentioned that you went to a breeder because you were looking for him, and is he a local or you have to go out of state?
When I got my first ones, I got them local.
Okay.
I had never spent that kind of money on a dog before. I was very uneasy about it.
Mhm.
So I was like, at least let me protect myself by going to their house and seeing that they have dogs.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I went and met the people, talked with them, everything, and left a deposit. I figured, if nothing else, I know where you live. I can come raise hell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
everything went great, and I got a really nice dog. I would love to say that I knew what I was getting, but I just lucked up and got something that was really good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And those people, I'm not sure if they breed or not anymore, or if they slowed down or what, but that's where I got my first one. So
Oh. Okay. Okay.
yeah, and then since then, I found another breeder, and I stayed close, and I've got a couple dogs from him. Between me and my brother, 3, 4 dogs from them.
Okay. Nice.
You know what I mean? So, like I said, I think there's wisdom in wherever you got this thing at, and that you know you don't know everything,
Correct.
stay close. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
that's what we
Yes.
did. Yeah. So tell us about this peso right there.
Yeah, that's Peso. So Peso is from Forces American Bulldog. Martin produced that dog out of Logic and Wild Diamond, I believe her name is Peso's dam.
Uh huh.
Um, you know, originally the plan was I wanted to use Logic, and they sold them to a lady up in Canada. Things didn't
I,
work out there.
I like that dog. I'm not an
Yeah,
AB expert, but I like that. That's a big old
yep.
dog.
Yeah, he's nice. So then I knew Martin had bred to Logic and he had produced some pups. Um, and I believe Peso is it's the closest thing to Logic. I believe he's his best offspring out there. Um, and I reached out to Martin and he sent me some semen. Um, and I think this was the first time I did that breeding with my female Athena. And she only had one pup. So I wanted to repeat it again because that pup didn't make it. So I was like, all right. So I reached out to Martin. On the Martin, when she comes again, let's try it. But then, Martin reached out and he said, that Peso was up for grabs. And I'm like, all right, shoot him. And
I like him.
and he's here in my camp now. And, we're doing good things with him. I'm focusing on him, on creating a line just out of Peso. So, you know, we're moving
Yeah.
forward. And Athena is a diesel daughter. That's from that diesel Kalina breeding. That's
Okay.
her. Yeah. And I know we talked yesterday, Corey, and I told you that I got her from that Bullet Bulls, and there's a lot of was that breeder up in the Netherlands too.
Michael. Bull
Yes,
Force.
Bullforce. So my
Bull
girl
Force.
Kalina has Bullforce in her pedigree, and but with her, she's on the smaller side, but she could produce big dogs and smaller dogs. So I like big dogs. So I decided to keep a female that
Oh, that's the one you told me was a little shorter.
correct. Yeah, the
Okay.
mom
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Athena, and Athena
Okay.
she's a pretty big girl, So she's a 24 inches at the wither, about 115 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're very, very nice dogs. And one thing I'm looking at is I don't know if it's big enough on that screen. Oh, you can see my cursor. Check it out.
Yes. Yeah.
But I like Bessel's nares wide open.
Oh well, that's one thing we focus on: open airs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps the dog breathe a little bit better, and so
Yeah.
yeah.
Just in the spirit of being open and honest. This summer I'm learning that some of my dogs, well, one in particular, is not going to make the cut. She's just going to either be a pet here, and that is what it is. But with the breathing, I want my dogs to be able to breathe right freely, and you know what I
Yes.
mean.
You don't
And the
want that
rest of
chainsaw breathing.
right, the rest
Yeah.
of them are good, but this one, and it kind of hurts a little bit because that's one I produced. You know what I
Oh,
mean? And it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
but I'd rather be open, be honest, and be like, you know what, I'm not gonna do that. Then you know what I mean. Try and find reasons to talk myself into it. You
Yeah,
know?
no, and I'm with you. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like
Yeah.
I live in the desert. I live in the high desert. We call it high desert out here in California. And temperatures get 115, 120. But all my dogs live outside. And it might sound cruel to say, but if as long as you have water, shade, but if you can't stand it, then you were never meant to be in my camp.
Come on now, that's all right. That's all
You
right.
know, so
Yeah.
and that's what it is, and then when it gets like in the winter, I get snow out here, so we drop till 10 degrees, or sometimes minus. So they all live outside as long as I have a good condition living for them. If
Yeah.
they're there the next morning, it's like you meant to be here. And I believe by now my dogs had acclimated pretty well to the seasons out here.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. But I ain't that stupid to work my dogs at 115, 120 degrees out there making them run. You know, that's fuck that. That's suicide. You know, I'm not stupid like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Like I got fans out there and I got misters, but I'm
Okay.
learning that because I'm like I said, I'm not from here. I'm learning here,
Okay.
right? And the humidity is crazy. So the
Yeah.
misters, they work to cool the dogs off, but I got to make sure that I'm stingy with them so everything can dry back out.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I find like on the days where the humidity's high anyway, I run some fans,
Oh, okay. Cool.
and I got no problem with that because it's hot. They got shade, they got a fan, whatever. Because I work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Definitely.
I can't be here to monitor. So I give them something to. They're in the shade. They got a big old industrial fan blowing on them. They'll be good till I get home.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's all good.
And with that, they're okay. But as soon as I go out there, start moving around, they get a little bit excited. This one start, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't stop that quickly. You know what I mean? But so,
Wow.
like I said, that's the thing I'm becoming more and more aware of. For
Okay.
mine. So yeah. What do you are on the watch out for? Excuse me. What do you watch out for? What are you making sure to keep out of your line or make sure you keep in your line?
Well, yeah, open nares is one thing I breed to. If they have pinch nares, definitely that's not going to be in the breeding program. I'll probably go to a pet home, but um, and the American Bulldog, there's a lot of hip dysplasia, so I always make
Okay.
sure I test my dogs. You know, it doesn't guarantee it, but it gives you a better chance of having good hips and stuff. And then we have
Yeah.
the ICH and NCO. It's that's a common in the American Bulldog. So I make sure I test for that and
What is
try
it?
to get. So the ICH it is kind of like mange, I could say, but it's just in that NCO it affects the brain, you
Okay.
know. So those things are in the American Bulldog and um, try to avoid that. There's another HUU that's kind of like kidney stones and stuff.
Does it
Um,
actually affect them though?
they do.
Because before Embark came out with that marker, I didn't know what it was. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. They do.
Okay.
I've known people that dog can take a piss and then once it start pissing, it's pissing blood and stuff, and it's bad.
Mm,
I imagine humans having stones and stuff and then trying to pee them out and how painful that be. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
Okay.
that's things to look out. That's what I try to avoid. Um, that's why I'm trying to create 3 lines in my yard. I want to create a vessel line, a diesel line, and I got some semen from a stud that I want to create a line from him, and then just move forward with those 3 lines in my yard. And go from there.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Okay. So you said something that was pretty interesting yesterday about the altitude and how that helps your dogs.
Oh yeah, yeah. I This is my personal opinion. We haven't done studies on it and stuff, but
These are the opinions of dentists. They do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the group.
exactly. So I
But
lived in
they
the
might.
city. I
Okay.
lived in the city, right, for all my life. And then I moved to the high desert, so I brought my dogs out here. Um, and I don't know if it's the altitude that helped them kind of have a stronger lungs. I could say that because when I go to these dog shows and they're have to come down to the city or whatever, and it could be 80, 85, 90 degrees. My dogs are like nothing. We're they're not panting nothing because it's like okay, it's hotter out there where I'm at, and I feel they have more lungs to them because when we're out there in that ring, and there's judges that make us do that ring turn like 3, 4, 5 times. My dogs are like nothing, and I've been in the ring Where other dogs, they're overheating, so they have to pull out of the ring, and because if not, the dog's gonna die. So um, I feel that high altitude really has helped my dogs.
Definitely. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
believe so. You know why? Because uh, I don't, Cole, you're from Cali, so we have a place called here, Big Bear.
Okay.
And a lot of boxers from California, they go up there and train because they want to build those lungs, and it's just
Yeah.
because of the altitude. The air's thinner and stuff, and you really could feel it in the mornings. It's crisp, and try to jog out there, man. You feel like you're running out of breath right away.
Bro, I went back to California for a visit, and I stopped in Flagstaff just to get gas.
Yeah,
And between my car and by the time I got back,
yeah,
yeah. So that thin air, it's real. Like I said,
yeah,
I agree with you 1,000%. I was just playing with you about, you know, because it makes all the difference, man. That's why all the longest field goals and the most home runs are hitting Denver.
yeah. See,
It's not a coincidence.
yeah,
Thin air is real. So then they come back down, and it's like, oh man, it's actually, oh
yeah,
yeah, oh yeah,
yeah,
like Wolverine.
yeah.
Yeah. So what are some of your plans for your kennel for the future? Like, I know you said you got the 3 line. You're gonna work on the 3rd line.
Correct. Yeah. I'm mainly focusing on my lines right now. I'm gonna do a lot of inbreeding in there, line breeding, uh, back breeding. Just so I could get to where I want to be. I already started my back breeding with the Peso line. Some consider it line breed. I mean, and the word just went out of my inbreeding,
Uh-huh.
daughter to father. I call it back breeding just because I want to lock in the traits that I'm looking for. Um,
Okay.
and so that's my first step. I already took that. I bred Peso to one of his daughters. I got a beautiful female out of that, and you know she's at a guardian home, but I have a close eye on her. So the goal is if she turns out the way I'm thinking she is, then we move forward. And if it doesn't, if things are still lacking, that I'm not lacking certain traits that I'm looking for, she's getting bred back to Peso.
Okay. We got a so breeding back to a source, back breeding.
Yeah.
Okay. And then so, how do you explain? How do you clarify? How do you the difference between inbreeding and line breeding?
So the closest thing to inbreeding is fully brother to sister. I consider that inbreeding.
Okay.
Back breeding is just to kind of lock in traits and stuff, and like I said, a lot of people will say it's inbreeding because you're breeding back to father to daughter or mother to son. But that's what I'm doing right now. It's back breeding. After that, we'll do a inbreeding. Once I have those traits locked in, then I'll do inbreeding between a brother and sister, and then from there start moving forward and start line breeding, and that'll be like my Peso line. But I'm planning to do that with the diesel line and stuff, and then at the end it's just a rotational system that I'm gonna do, and if I have everything I want on studs or females, I don't really have to go out of my yard because I'll be working with my own lines in my yard.
Yeah. 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 What we're trying to do is just develop a family of dogs. You
Okay.
know, um, like all my females are related.
Okay.
I got mother, sister, and daughter. You know what I mean? The daughter's the one that, but that was the
Yeah.
plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll have to pick another daughter. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then get a daughter off the aunt. And then my brother, all his boys are related.
Okay.
So you know what I mean? That's what we're working on. Be able to go. We should be able to do that
To
for a
do that.
while.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then it's always trying to get that consistency. You
Yeah.
know, that's the goal. Well, in my end, that's the goal. Try to get that consistency of all the pups kind of, looking the same. It now that I learned a lot about, genetics. It kind of helped out. I joined this. It's called the Breeders Academy, and
Okay.
it helped out a lot, bro. Like learning from there, and they do coaching calls and stuff,
That's
and
the
then
chicken man, right?
correct, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. He knows a lot. A
he
lot, a lot, a
does,
lot.
yeah, he does. And but you know what? The thing is, you just gotta be careful too with dogs because they're mammals. They're not like chickens. Chickens you could inbreed and do so much things with them back and back, and they're okay. But with mammals, you have to be a little bit careful because they might not be able to take all that.
And with
So
chickens, if they don't come out right,
exactly,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
yeah, yep,
No, there's no consequences.
true
You're not
that.
you're not gonna worry about selling somebody a crazy chicken or a sick chicken or whatever. Just
Exactly, yeah.
yeah.
And
So
and it's, and then with that being said, it's learning from him and his program. It's you kind of start cleaning up your lines because a lot of people have this conception of inbreeding that, oh, dogs that might be retarded, they're gonna be sick. No, 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 it's nothing like that. If the dog already had that in his DNA, the only thing you're doing is exposing it out. You're exposing it
yeah.
out,
Hmm.
and that's about it. And then that's why selecting is the key, and you move forward with what you don't want, and
Yeah.
let's get this, yeah,
Selecting is the key. It is. It is.
yeah.
The colors not the problem. It's
No, no,
selection.
yeah,
It's selection.
exactly. Yep,
Yeah. Yeah.
yep,
It's when we select that over
yes,
XYZ, you know.
yep.
Yeah. Absolutely. And this is Bessel again, huh?
This is
Bessel again?
special. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a little bit more mature there. When I got him, he was about a year, maybe a year and a half. Um,
Yeah.
now he's like 3 and some change, I think, and he, that's his manly body and stuff, and pretty awesome dog.
It's a
But I'm
nice
not gonna
dog,
lie,
bro.
when I got him, I thought he was not gonna make the cut, bro. I'm gonna be honest, as nice as he is and everything, um, I had my doubts just because I don't like skittish dogs, bro. But I don't blame him. Martin lives out in the rural area. He don't have no traffic, no noise. So when he got here and they brought him to me and I was in the city, well, and I'm from LA, so traffic is crazy, noise is loud up there. So he was tripping.
Helicopters.
Yes, everything. So he was tripping out like what is this, and I'm like, okay, cool. I brought him home. It's a little bit quieter, and I was like, "Ah, man, if he continues like this, I'm not gonna be able to keep him. I was like, I can't. But I think I broke him off of that, and I think my girls really helped them, you know, be confident and stuff, and so I exposed him to a lot of noise just so he could get used to it, and now, man, he's a great dog now. He's one of the alphas, and funny story is that Diesel is the alpha. Like my girls could be acting up, and once he's out in the yard, he just has to look at them and they stop. But with Peso, it's different. They'll see him and they'll try to punk him, So then, but now he's starting to get a little bit brave and he's standing up to himself. But he did challenge Diesel, and man, I remember me and my wife went down to LA. I had locked up the dogs, um, and I guess they could see each other through the kennels, and they're banging the kennels. So one of my latches broke off. So I have, I have doggy doors because I have
Okay.
a shed, and then I have kennels, and there's kennels inside the shed. So he went in there, broke off the lock. Well, he ended up at in Paso site, and they're going at it. But they fought during the summer. We're not home. No, like we left maybe at 5 in the morning. We didn't get back till like 8. I find both, my property kind of, you come out and then it slopes down. So I have stairs for the, more property. And I go the first thing I when I get home, I go check the dogs, and I find both boys laying down like on the entrance of the back door, and I'm like, my heart dropped, and I was like, oh, man, these dogs are dead. No, they both of them lift their head up, and I'm like, okay, you guys ain't dead, but you guys are fucked up. So I brought one home, one inside the house, and then the other one stayed outside. So I'm attending them. They got bites and stuff. Nothing bad as that I had to go to the vet and get stitches or
Yeah,
surgery. No, they have cuts, so I clean them up. But I think what helped is that it was
it
about
was
like
hot.
maybe it's like 115. So I'm assuming they went at it and then they stopped and they're like, man, it's too hot to be fighting. Like, screw it.
Yeah, you
So
really want to do this? Like, no,
yeah.
no, no, no. Yeah,
So that was the incident I had with both of them. And now it's before they were able to tolerate each other. They could see each other past their kennels. Like if I'm walking them, now after that fight, they're like, no, now I want to kill you. So you know,
mm,
so I managed pretty well. My wife, she's a big help, man. Honestly, without her, this dog thing, it'll be real difficult for me. If you have a spouse that backs you up on what you're doing, man, kudos to her because man, it's just hard. And
thousand
having
percent.
having that support, hey, it goes a long way. The only thing I told
It's
her, I was like,
major. It's
yes,
major.
yep. I just told her if these dogs, get in a fight, do not get involved. I was like, my wife weighs about 115, 120. I was like, you're not going to be able to pull these dogs off. So just let them be. And,
Just
you
have to see
know,
who makes it, huh?
yeah, exactly. Yep.
Sounds rough, but I
Yeah,
mean,
it is. It is.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's kind of the risk you take having multiple dogs. You know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I about having a helping spouse. My wife last week went to Texas to see her mother, father,
Okay.
brother, and all that. Her and my son. They summertime. They went. We got too many dogs for me to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm not really with paying somebody to watch my dogs. Like I just
Yeah.
stay. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, bro, like, because I I take care of my dogs.
Correct.
That's what I do. You know what I mean? And then you may not realize how much another person actually does
Yes.
in the
Yes.
middle of you're taking care of the dogs.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's like, oh yeah, yeah, she really, yeah, she makes
She
a
puts in that
difference.
work too. Yeah. And a lot of the times they don't get the credit that they deserve, but man,
Yeah,
they do a lot. Like my wife,
yeah.
she's my whelper. I don't go, besides American bulldogs, I started breeding French bulldogs. And that's not something that kind of I wanted to do. Is my wife wanted a French bulldog. I got her one. Um, and then the boy we have, she felt like, oh, he's lonely. So I had to make a deal with a guy that bred American bulldogs. At the time, he had Frenchies, and he's like, "Man, then let's make a deal. Take one of these Frenchies, and we'll see what's up." I'm like, "Okay." So I did, and from there, my wife's like, "Well, let's try it. You know what? Let's try it, see how it is." And our first year, man, it was well for her. It was horrible because you know, my little female, she went into labor and everything. She went to get C-section. We come home the next day she gets bitten by a spider. So she gets hives, she starts getting swollen, and so she rushes her to the vet. I'm at work, she calls me. So she's rushing to the vet with puppies because they're newborn. So she's taking them with her. Get to the vet. The vet was like, you know what, she needs to stay here, observations. So we come home, she comes home, I get home, and she's like, hey, well, I got a bottle feed every 2 hours. Cool. Man, well, tell you that I was going to work at four in the morning. So my drive to work, it's about an hour and a half. So I was getting up at 2:30 in the morning. So as much as I really wanted to help her, I couldn't. I needed to sleep because I have that drive. So she was there. She was sleeping in the whelping box. Man, she looked like a zombie for that week. And but finally, I figured out, you know what? I don't think she's gonna want to do this. We tried it, and we'll be good. But no, that she didn't give up, man, and she has her little Frenchie program going, and that's Regardable's Frenchies. and she's the one that managed that page, and we have our Frenchies there. Um, but there's to me, it's a difficult breed to breed. There's a lot of they're real delicate, a lot of complications with them and stuff, and yeah, there you go. See, that's my boy Henry right there.
Not bad looking. I like him.
Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
so far so good. We have a litter on the ground right now. It's our third litter, and like I said, she's going strong on there. She likes them. Same thing with the Frenchies. We help test them. Um, and
Yeah. What are you testing them for?
with them, it's same thing in bark. You got the heart, and I forgot the name of it. But they suffer from like the spine and stuff. I forgot if it's
IVDD? Is it that?
yes, yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Um, they suffer from that. So we test for that, make sure that they're clear and stuff. And
Can you hear me?
yeah, go here.
Okay, I hear you. I got these guys.
Oh,
Right. That's how I know about the IVDD.
because
Yes.
they are prone to that too.
I mean, it's a short dog with a long back and little legs, and they
Mm.
pretty much all test for it.
Oh, okay,
At
okay.
least at least one copy.
Yeah, yeah.
You try to not breed a dog with two copies.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
you're
But
correct.
they pretty much it's there. Like
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Hey, it's funny. The chat's kind of funny. It says Jessica said, "What's the vacation?" Right,
Yeah.
and the next person said, "Sleep."
Hey, no,
What's
it's
sleep?
true.
What's sleep?
Mm. Yeah. No, it is true, man. I think when you get that rest, ooh, enjoy it,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
man, and it is difficult having multiple dogs and going on vacation. If you don't have, the I guess the family to come over and kind of look, oh, see, is that a boy or girl?
that's her. That's a
Oh,
girl.
okay, nice.
Yeah,
See?
yeah. And it's like was it Sesame Street or was it with in the
Oh
window,
yeah, yeah, it is.
Mr. Rogers' neighborhood?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But embark. Go ahead. I'm listening.
No, no, no. I was saying vacation.
Oh,
Vacation.
vacation.
Yeah, yeah. It is. It is difficult to go on vacation, especially if you have multiple dogs. Especially if you have family that come over and look after your dogs. Cool. When I moved out here, like I said, I'm an hour and a half away from the city. Most of my family are in the city. Uh, Luckily, my sister moved up here where I'm at, and she's like
Okay.
15, 20 minutes. So that kind of helped out because if me and my wife decides to go somewhere, she'll come over, feed the dogs, but I bring her probably a week before just so the dogs could be okay with her. So I make her feed them while I'm there. So then
Yeah.
now every time she comes by herself, the dogs are not acting up or you're like, you're a stranger. Now I want to kill you. Why are you in my house?
Mm.
So
As long as the boys don't get out, it should be all right, huh?
exactly. Yes. Yes. So
Yeah.
it is cool. Like my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law takes all my Frenchies. And that's a great help. Like, if we were gonna go out of town, we'll take the Frenchies to my mother-in-law. They'll stay there with her. And the Americans, they stay in my house, and that's when my sister comes over, feeds them and stuff. But at the same time, on the back of my head, I'm like, man, they're not taking care of my dogs the way I would take care of them.
Yeah.
So it's always that like, oh, I gotta check up on the dogs.
Okay, but here's the deal with that. And this is I have to tell myself this. That's why I'm saying the way we take care of our dogs is like what's necessary, and then it's you know what I mean?
Correct.
So they
Yes.
don't have to. The dogs will be fine with a lot less.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
True that.
Yeah. I gotta
Yeah.
remind myself, because I gotta remind myself, like, man, dogs have babies under the house.
That is true. Yeah.
While we're trying to put them on a nipple and all this
Yes.
stuff, like,
Yes. Yep.
man, bitches have babies under the house
That's
and
true.
nobody, you know what I mean? So
You know
yeah.
what? And you're right. I think I have struggled more with my American bulldogs than my Frenchies. My female that I have, oh man, she's an awesome mom. Um, besides that spider biting her, the other 2 litters, piece of cake because she does everything. Um, I have a Athena, the one that you pulled up earlier.
Hmm.
Oh, she's not the greatest mom, and
No.
she's good, but it's just that when she hears that cry of those pups, she kind of freaks out and she's like, "Oh, I gotta warm them up and try to get on top of them," and that's how I lost that singlet tone I had with Peso the first time because he
Uh,
started crying and she kind of laid on him trying to keep him warm, and I'm like, yeah,
yeah. 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 I, so what I do is and I kind of heat the room.
okay,
Some people use pads and stuff like that. I put a little space heater in the room. I don't. I don't think the room gets to the 100 degrees, whatever it's
correct,
supposed
yeah,
to. But we ain't lost one yet to
yeah,
nothing
okay,
like that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah,
I said I think some things we do we're being extra. You know what I mean? Which
yeah,
is
no, no,
okay. You
and
know?
I'm with you because since we started breeding Frenchies, I got myself an incubator, you know,
Yeah.
and I kind of learned with the Frenchies, why they're a little bit delicate more than let's say the Americans and stuff because they aspirate pretty quick. When they're sucking on the mom, they aspirate, and I'm like, man. So I always have the incubator ready, just for I have an aspirated puppy, throw them in there, have some oxygen, have everything ready, and they'll be good. And
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna lie and say I haven't used it for the Americans too, but I use it especially like an Athena. Once they're finished eating, boom, throw them in the incubator, and then I'll put her up, and I'm like, okay, when it's time to eat, I'll bring her out, put her in the whooping box, I'll put the pups, and I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah. We've
Yeah.
we've we've done it both ways. We had a litter of 10
Oh,
with Rosie, this girl,
okay.
and she's only got 8 titties. So there's no sense of having everybody out at once.
Correct. Yeah.
So we fed 5 and 5. You know what I mean? So I try not to keep them in there or anything like that for any kind of length of time. I like mom to be with her babies,
Yeah.
but like you said, if she's I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
You know, people sometimes people don't realize the investment that a litter is.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah. And that's why, a lot of people don't really know behind the curtains what really goes on because it's time and hours that you put in. And, you know, um, like with the OD market, I don't know what you guys price your pups and stuff, but, like I price my pups, like the Americans, I'm pushing them at from 2,500 to 3K. But that's me. I'm not saying that's what the market needs to be and stuff, but it's just me. That's my market. That's what I get for my dogs. But when I talk to people and they ask, well, why so much? And I explain, you know, the testing and all the hours that I put in them and everything. And they'll be like, oh, okay. They don't try to hassle me down and say, no, well, I'll give you 1,500 for it. Now I'll be like, all right, well, this dog ain't for you. I have somebody else that might be interested that will take it at the price that I'm asking. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, an oldie you can get if you got 3 bands. You have a conversation. You get you a good
Okay.
dog. You know what I mean? It can go up from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's an amount of money to call a man and see about a horse with.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Definitely.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. You know.
Yeah.
So even it may not. Here we go. Let's see. Ooh, not bad. Not bad. Might that
Oh,
might be
yeah. That's good.
that's
Yeah.
that's wicked good. Like the
Yeah.
name
It
says.
is. Exactly. The name says it
Yeah.
all. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Salute. But that's I live in Arkansas.
Okay.
Um, so a lot of times when you're getting the your full asking price, it's out of state. It's you know what I mean.
Correct.
So it's not people here are not used to that for an
Yeah.
animal that they're not gonna eat one day or whatever. You know what I
Correct.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but
But you know what, Cole? Honestly, I feel, and this is my opinion, uh, if you do pay for, your asking price, I feel they'll take care better of the dog than if you sell them a $500 dog or fucking $200 dog.
wait,
They'll
come on.
they'll take care of the dog. I feel more better than getting a cheaper dog. Just because they're like, man, I did an investment on this dog. I want to make sure he's good. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. It's a level of buy-in. You know what I
correct.
mean? Yeah. 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 And then one thing that's not talked about a lot, and it's uncomfortable talking about it, but there are very strong geographic, cultural, whatever views on dogs and their value and stuff like that.
Correct.
That
Yeah.
and you we deal with all that stuff. We don't
Yes.
always talk about all that stuff,
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
but we deal
Definitely.
about that. You know what I mean? So yeah, like I said, Arkansas people, like you know, and I'm not mad about it because first of all, living in Arkansas in a lot of ways is like living in like 1995.
Okay.
Like at my job, we still do like hella paperwork on paper instead of just like
Mm,
send
yeah.
it in. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's and I remember growing up, uh, and a purebred dog papers was $1,000
Yeah.
in the mid '90s, whatever. Which also that same $1,000 could buy you a car that the family could use for
That is
reliable
true. Yep.
transportation. You know what
Yep.
I mean? But it's like people still process around here kind of like that.
Mm,
So I get it. You know what I mean? I'm not mad, but that's not the number we're talking about either. You know what I
correct.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go. What's Wicked Good say? New Englanders seem to pay more than other places in the States. That's just my experience though. You're not wrong. I sold some dachshunds up there and they bought the same family bought two of them and the second one I told them no, you're not paying full price for your second dog from me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like, okay, you know what I mean? All right.
Like I don't mind spending, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah. But I'm like,
that's
nah,
true.
we done business before. That's yeah, no. So
No, that's good. Yeah. No, same thing. I do the same thing with repeat buyers. I'll give them a deal as well. Be like, you're not
yeah.
gonna pay full price. You already did it once. You came back for me, and I'll try to hook them up and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, especially you got one of my dogs. I see how he's living. She's
Exactly.
living.
Yep.
It's a solid home. You're solid people. I like talking to you when you
Yeah.
call, whatever. Like, yeah, that's what you want.
Exactly.
So tell me what organizations you register your dogs with, or what are the registries that are prominent in your breed?
So a lot of my dogs are they're dual registrations with them. One of them is the
Okay.
ABA, American Bulldog Association, and that's the registry I show under. And the reason I'm with them is because they host a lot of shows out here in Cali, and they're in the West Coast.
Give it to
So
me one more time.
ABA, American Bulldog Association.
Let's see if I can pull it up.
Okay.
There we go. You tell me this is it. Give me a second.
Yeah, yeah. That's
That's
it
it.
right there. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And you said that they're based out of California
They're based out of Arizona.
or Arizona. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, but
All
a
right.
lot of that's what I'm saying. A lot of their shows are in the West Coast, so I'm able to drive whether it's Arizona, Texas, even Utah, whatever they're gonna host one. We're able to go there.
All right. That's good.
Yeah. I have, a lot of
Uh-oh.
the dogs
Uh-oh.
are.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Cinco de Mayo's in Ontario.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
wonder where you'll be. It's actually on the third, but
yeah.
yeah, that's right in your neighborhood.
It is, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And then, I have a couple of dogs in that banner that I produce. I don't know, no, but I produce
Is this
like
your,
that.
I think that this one?
Yeah, that's Venom. That's a Diesel Sun.
Okay. And which other one?
The one with the gold chain right next to the one in the middle to the with the gold chain. That
It
one
is
right there. Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
think
then
I
I have
seen
my
Vet.
girl. Yeah, they're
I
belly
see
brothers.
I seen this one on your page.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that he's owned by Paul from Favela Bulldogs up in Nevada.
Okay.
He's a breeder out there. He owns him.
Okay. I'm gonna have to get all you AB guys on at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
Just
Ernest Linnell, the guy that was commenting, he's a oldie American breeder as well. He's trying to create his own breed. I'm not gonna talk about it. That's his thing. I'll let him do that. So shout outs to Ernest. Um, he has a transport company as well. He was my guy. That's how we became friends because he was transporting all my dogs, and he was
oh
coming out of Oklahoma. At the time, he lived in Oklahoma. He was coming down here picking up my dogs and taking them to the East Coast and stuff. Now he lives in Florida. So
what's his name?
Ernest Linnell, Valhalla Bulldog or Valhalla or Great Hall
Oh,
Kennels. Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Great Hall
yeah. There you go.
African Bulldogs.
Yeah, that's the breed he's trying to create. I say that's his thing. You know,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Why
But
not?
he breeds oldies. He breeds Americans. He has one of the Americans that are from my lines. He has her. So and I think that's his foundation bitch for his oldie.
Okay. Great Hall.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
Yeah, and then
like I said,
we have a lot of breeders out here in Cali on the West Coast. We have Gam American Bulldogs. He's here in LA. We got Dog Pound, Richard Rears from Dog Pound. So and then we got the Bibees American Bulldogs. So there's a lot of breeders out here in the West Coast, that I guess you could say I competed against most of them in
there's
the
your
dog
boy.
show. There you go.
There's your. I see why you named him Venom. I get it.
Yeah.
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 And then, who's the other one?
That's Diesel.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
like he's a little, he's more mature there, so yeah, that's Diesel right there.
I really like Diesel. I like that picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Venom's got a big old head on him though.
He is. He's a really nice dog, man. I remember Paul came all the way to my house to pick him up from Vegas. And where I live, Vegas is just 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost close enough to be a problem, huh?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that I-15, buddy, you can fly up that joke.
Yep.
They know what you're doing. They ain't tripping.
Yep. Exactly.
Just don't do 100, and you
Yeah.
probably,
Yep.
yeah. So Venom's with
With
Favela.
Paul, with Favela
Okay,
Bulldogs. Yeah. Correct. He's
got
out
you.
there, and he's studying them out, to all bully breeds. So anybody interested, hit him up.
What up, Train Yard?
Mhm.
That's that dude right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know him personally, but I've heard of him. So yeah.
Yeah. One day we'll get him on here. One day.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, he's trying to like stay in the cut. I'm keep breathing. I keep putting his name out there though.
Keep pushing him.
Yeah.
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 No, and you know what, Cole? It is, when we started this, when, I saw the live button, I'm not gonna lie, I got nervous. But just talking to you, man, it's like, man, I know you for years now, so that conversation kind of, now
Yeah.
I'm all these stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's man. look, I say it all the time because I mean it. I don't. I didn't do this because I wanted to be seen. I did it because I wanted my breed to be seen.
Okay.
When I got oldies, there was nothing for us. We didn't have even this. Not that
Yeah.
this is the biggest, most production with you know overlays of where
Yes.
you can
Yes.
really learn nothing. But this is for the oldies. This is for the ABs, all the breeds that overlap us. You know what I mean?
Correct. Yes.
And
Yes.
so that's why we did it, and it took me a little bit to be comfortable with it too.
No, and I salute you for doing it, Cole. Honestly, it takes a lot, a lot of courage, to get up in a camera and speak, and and I salute you for that, brother. Honestly, and then you're doing a great job. Continue pushing, and hey, make your breed stand out there, man. Because I know same thing with the ABs and the oldies. I know, like you said it once, if we were all together and join
Come
forces,
on,
man, we are unstoppable.
take over.
Yeah.
So give me the other. We got the American Bulldog Association. What's the other one?
It's ABRA. I believe it's American Bulldog um, Registry Archive, something like that. I believe. With them, I started registering my dogs. I started with her. It was the ABRA.
Okay,
And it's owned by Leslie Rose from Rose Bulls, American Bulldog.
that's where Big Boy's from, huh?
Correct. She has logic. Yes. Yeah. So so my
Hey,
dogs are.
like I said, I'm not an expert on them dogs, bro. But that dog is.
He's nice. He's a really nice dog, honestly.
I
Yeah.
got I got to see him in person. But in pictures, he takes. In pictures, you see him take the air out of the room. You know what I mean?
Correct. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
So it's I started with her and I just continue. One thing that I like registering my pups with her just because I'm the puppy registration. Um, she's pretty good at, let's say, if you don't sell a pup with breeding rights,
mhm.
she'll make sure she'll contact, like when the owner wants to register the pups and, you mark in there non-breeding rights. Oh, the puppy registration with her, they all come that say non-breeding rights. So even if you sold the pup with breeding rights, it says non-breeding rights. So once they're going to register that litter, they reach out to her, but she reaches out to me and she'll ask me, Dennis, did you sell this dog with breeding rights, let's say to Cole House? And if I say no, then she knows like, okay, yeah, you can register this dog with breeding rights. So she'll deny them. But if I say, no, they're good, I saw they were breeding rights, she'll submit the paperwork and, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Let's shop a little bit. Yeah. Might as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. I think that's, no, I was going to say, I think that's one of Logic's offsprings, but I'm not sure. Kind of resembles a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't
Yeah.
happen to have a picture of him in your computer, would you?
You know what? I might, yeah. Hold on.
Oh, got some in Menifee,
Oh, there you go.
Bay
Oh yeah,
Area
Top Dog.
Bullies.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's Jay from Top Dog. Pretty cool dude too. Kind of new to the breed. He became a breeder. I think his mentor is Richard from Dog Pound. So pretty cool dude.
Okay. Richard from Dog Pound. When I hear Dog Pound, I think Dash and Corrupt. You know what I mean?
Well,
Can't help it.
yeah, yeah. No, and
Yeah.
Richard's originally from Compton, so that's why
Okay. Yeah. I like it. Outcast Bullies. These are
yeah, just
out of date
people.
a little bit,
Yeah,
but that's cool though. ARBA and then American Bull ABA.
correct. The ABA. Yeah, so I'm more active in the ABA. Like I said, just because I show under them, and we're competing with our dogs on the confirmation side. Um,
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here, Bo. I'm
Oh,
trying to pull up the. Give me a second.
all right. No, you're good. It's just like maybe the noise canceling. It went real quiet all of a sudden. Like
Oh,
I thought.
okay, okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna stop that, and then I would pull it up when you.
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, like they have there's a big oldie show. Well, two of them this year, really. But the one I'm talking about was in 23. It was the Beast of the East in Virginia,
Oh, correct. Yeah.
and that Dog Logic was there.
Oh, okay.
That was the first time I said, "What is that?" Like, you know, that's I like big dogs. I can't help it.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I'll give a shout out to Dante and Shot for producing that boy. Um, they're up here in Cali, Northern California. Um, and that's why when I saw them having them, I was like, man, I got to breed, to him. So I think I was one of the first ones that had reached out. He was still a pup, and I asked them that I wanted to lock in a deposit just to breed to him, and I was gonna breed him to my girl Athena, and they were about the same age, so they were pups. So they were like, "You sure, Dennis?" I'm like, "Yeah, man. I could see what this dog is gonna be, so let's do it." So yeah, finally, they took it and but then they sold them and it kind of didn't work out my way.
Mm, that's the kind of that's the risk you take with the early lock in.
Correct. Yeah.
But I mean, it's usually just a deposit though, right?
Correct. It was just a
It's not the
deposit.
paid in full.
Correct. No. And then
Yeah,
you know, I guess they honor the breedings of that breeding with the owner that owns them, and
yeah,
she was like, okay, cool, whatever pending breedings he has, I'll honor them and we'll go from there. And
yeah. Okay.
let me
Uh
see,
oh.
Cole. There you go.
Here we go. Here we go.
There you go. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah, that's logic right there. And
that
then
head is
hey,
crazy.
props to Shot because he was the photographer for all his pictures that are kind of they have that wow factor and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, at the Beast of the East, yeah, you kind of see what the dog is. I wish I could have
yeah,
put my hands on him, but
yeah. He's a nice dog.
no, he is, yeah,
Yeah. So we
pretty
got
boy.
for oldies, we got the Beast of the East this year. Again, this will be the first time we go, and then we got the IOEBA is returning
Mm.
to the ring, and that's going to be in September.
Well, Ernest from Gray Hall, he's invited me to go up there, and now I'm thinking of flying out there. He's taking multiple dogs, so he asked me if I could go out there and help him out, and kind of be one of the handlers and stuff. Because I think he has a couple of dogs the same age, so they might be in the same class. So I'm thinking about it.
Run it,
Yeah, hey, I might. Yeah.
run it. We'll be there. We're going to do some live stuff there at both
Okay.
places. Yeah,
Cool.
so it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. Um, I might take a dog and have somebody show it for me so that I can
Okay.
still move around
Yeah,
and
yeah,
kind of
definitely do
be
your
freed
thing.
up. Yeah, but it's going to be a good time. I'm excited about it. Both events, I'm excited. We're excited about.
Oh,
It's going to be
yeah. For that Beast of the East as well. I've talked to Martin about it. And we're still thinking about it. I don't know how it is, but we were even thinking of just hiring a transport just for our dogs and them driving it out there, and we were gonna fly out there and then just meet them there with our dogs, and then pay the guy again just to come back home with the dogs, and we'll fly back. But we'll see. I know he talked to a couple of us, and just so we could have a good push of the American Bulldogs out there, because, like I said, we'll just hire that one guy. Like he
yeah,
doesn't have to pick up no dogs. It's just pick up our dogs and
yeah,
drive out there. So I don't know. We'll see. I know he talked to like two other breeders, and you know, we just got to get our heads together and plan this thing.
Man, come on out.
Yeah,
Like I said to start this whole thing, like the American Bulldog is part of the oldie.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Our circles overlap a lot.
correct.
You know what I mean? So, and the Beast of the East, that's what it's all about. It's just big old, freak on a leash dogs.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yep.
So
And it'll be
yeah,
good to see, dogs from the East Coast out there that you just see on. Yeah, so it's good to see dogs out there you just see on the internet and stuff, social media, and I like putting my hands on dogs, honestly.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So you already know I got the box van.
Yeah, I sold them my van. That's why he lives in Florida now.
Oh,
So
okay.
I had a van that's how I transport all my dogs. Like when we go to shows, that was my van, and I
Yeah.
call her Big Red, because she's
Okay.
red, and finally he's like, let me buy her. I want to get back to this transport thing, and he's like, my van just gave out, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. I was like, come through. I was like, come pick her up then, and yeah, he came. He flew out here. And it was a funny story because I told them to what airport to show up. I'm like, don't go to LAX. I'm like, don't go to LAX. I'm like, have a
Ontario.
close. Yeah, there you go. I'm like, go to Ontario. So I pull up in the parking lot. I leave the keys, hidden, and I tell them where they're gonna be at. I was like, because I gotta go to work. So one of my drivers picks me up, from the airport. All right, cool.
Yeah.
The plan was for him to pick me up from work, right? I was gonna call him. So I'm like, hey, cool. I was like, hang out. You and your friend hang out. I told them what places to go hit and go eat and stuff. And I was like, I'll be at work. So I call him and I'm like, hey, I'm ready. I'm ready. Come pick me up. And I know how far he was. So I was like, man, it should take you like 15 minutes to get here. And I'm waiting. I'm like, man, where is he? He calls me and he's like, dude, I'm out here on this street, Jackson, and I could see the trucks. And I'm like, I'm outside. I don't see you.
In
Well,
Fontana?
no, he went to the city of Paramount, like to Long Beach.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
And oh man, I was like, dude, that's not where I'm at. So it was funny. At the end, it was good. He stayed over the night at my house, and next morning he got his stuff ready and took off, and he was in Florida. I'll say probably in 3 days or 2 days. I can't remember how many days he took out there. Yeah,
So
he's in
it's a hump.
Ocala, Florida.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
That's the middle, ain't it?
I think that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what do you guys do as far as testing, proving your dogs? Weight pull, stuff like that. Do you
Yeah.
participate in?
We have weight pool, hang time. At the because the shows usually are 2 days, right? First day might be confirmation. Second day it's weight pool, hang time, obedience. Until they do that like that French ring type, and
Okay.
bite work. So I don't compete in those. I want to. I want to start getting into them just to see what the dogs do. I think my dogs could do it because they have drive. I don't know if you saw a couple of videos. I got dogs hanging in there, and there's a class for that. For hang time, see who hangs the longest there. So
Okay, let me go back and see if I can.
yeah, I think I have them somewhere in my Instagram. I have Besso, I have Dax in there.
That's too much full screen. Let's see how it looks. Found one of them.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Yep. Yeah, that's Dax right there. That's a Peso offspring with my girl Athena.
How old do they have to be before you let them actually feet off the ground hang?
Usually 2 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and to put it like this, I use sand just to absorb that you know when they hit.
Right.
So I use sand, and but That dog is athletic. That's the dog that banner you did. That's him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta build me one of these things. My dogs love stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a sprinkle, man. You man, if you don't have time to go out and walk them, that's sometimes I get home late. Man, I throw them in the sprinkle. I drain that energy, and man, they good.
I mean, it ain't even really about having time or not. It's you're outnumbered.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
know what I
true.
mean?
Yeah.
I,
Yep.
I got I got I got about an hour and a half, a hot hour and a half before the sun goes down, and there's four of you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That is
So
true.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then especially in the wintertime, because here it's actually to some people it may not be cold, but I grew up in Southern California. It's cold. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When it's in the daytime, it only gets up to 36, just
Oh
barely
yeah.
above freezing.
Yep.
When
Yep.
that sun goes down, woo, you know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
Yeah. So things like that, the flirt pole, the spring pole, all that stuff. That's what we use.
That's
And
cool.
when
Th- th-
when the weather allows, because and like now it's 100. It's
mm,
100 with high humidity.
okay.
I'm not working no dogs right now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
As much as I
Cool.
would love to be like, oh yeah, I work mine regardless.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's true. And then you do it when you can. And
Yeah,
dogs enjoy it. And with them, like I said, my dogs, I do kennel them up, but the majority of the time they're loose, except the males. The males I lock them up, but my females are able to get along pretty well. Like all of them, they're loose, and you know, they sometimes drain their own energy playing with each other and stuff. You know.
yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. Let's see. I like seeing these big boys on that rope though. Which one's it?
Oh, let me ask you something. Do your dogs do? Oh yeah, that's special right there. Yeah.
Yeah, boys muscled up.
Yeah, no, and that's the logic, son. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, he's a
yeah.
good, it's a good boy. Like I said, he, that's my wife's baby. She babies that dog like crazy. Look, man, if because I'm in my office, but if I go out there, she probably has them inside the house because that's her baby, and it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. She says I'm the bad guy. She's like, no, I'm like, no. The thing is that it needs to be a balance, and you need to correct certain things, and there's boundaries, and that's my thing.
There has to be boundaries because I mean, without
Yeah,
boundaries, those are monsters. Without
exactly.
boundaries.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I thankfully with my oldies, I can gorilla snatch any of them if I need to.
There
You
you
know what I
go.
mean?
Yep.
But I used to have a Corso, like I said, and that's not the case. So from like day one, like you're not jumping up on me,
Yeah.
whatever. You're not gonna be on the couch. We're just not gonna be part of your life, and it worked. I
Yeah.
had a good dog for his whole life, and but I got these dogs, 50 pounds, whatever.
Yeah.
So I found myself being a little looser with them, and
Oh, okay.
it's generally okay, but sometimes I'm like, man, I should have nipped that in the bud.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we got crate training down with everybody. Everybody can go in a crate, no problem. Nobody uses the bathroom in the house, that type of stuff. So
Yeah. That is
that's
true. Yeah.
that's the important stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's funny because like none of my Americans are trained, like potty trained inside the house. But when they gotta go, they go to the back door and start scratching, like, all right, let me out. I need to, and I'm like, all right.
yeah, because that's where they go anyways. That's what feels
Exactly.
right.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I we So how do you potty train puppies? If somebody gets a Vergara bulldog, how close how far along in the potty process are they when they get them?
Oh, they're trained. I just tell the customer, hey, keep going, with the training. Don't
Mm-hmm.
expect just because I started it and they're there that, I'll like have rules, have guidelines, a schedule, whatever, and just continue what I'm doing and you'll be good. And But I start them off once they start walking. When I start feeding mush, I have the whelping box, and then I have a section, where I kind of start putting uh, chip wood, and that's their
Mm-hmm.
restroom. But what I do, I make sure wherever they pee, I put that scent in there. So then they follow it. Oh, this is where I went. Cool. So there they have their sleeping area. They have the little play area, and I have my garage set up like that, where I have whelping box, little play area, and then I have a section for them to go to the restroom. And
So,
yeah,
so are you feet on the ground or no feet on the ground?
no, I elevate.
Yeah,
Their feeding. Yeah.
because our puppies, we don't let them be on the grass.
Oh,
They're in the
correct. Yeah.
house, or like if we take them out, I'll make an area like a little playpen,
Yes.
put a
Yep.
tarp, some shavings, whatever.
Yep.
And a lot of people say there's people on both sides. People say I don't want my puppies to get sick, and there's people that say no, let it put them down, see what happens, and if they get sick, they'll get better. You know what I mean? But
That's true. They'll fight it. No, you're right. Um, I think I'm more of the precaution guy.
me too.
Um,
Me too.
I wait
I
until
hate that about me though. What a punk. We're punks, man.
yeah,
Bitches have
hey,
babies under the house and nobody
that is
pays them no
true.
attention.
Yep,
You know
yep,
what I mean?
that is true.
Gosh.
Hey, but everybody, each their own.
I want to just be gangster with mine and be like, nah.
But fuck it, let them loose. Let them go out there. Yeah,
Let them run amok.
yeah,
But yeah. But no, we
yeah,
keep, like I said, if they go outside, I make a little playpen, shavings, whatever.
yeah.
Because, and I haven't had any, well, at least till they have their first, like, they get a shot at 6 weeks.
Correct.
7 weeks, I'll kind of just let them out in the backyard.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But nothing before that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh,
at least till they
that's
get
good.
something.
Yep.
Yeah. And then yeah.
Do you let's say the oldies, and I'm assuming probably they do suffer from allergies and stuff, yeast on their feet and stuff like that?
Uh I'm gonna say yes, but I've had one oldie with allergies,
Okay.
right? And here's what happened. When I got him, he was an adult already. Beautiful. Lilac boy, beautiful, right? And about a week after I got him, because he was already, like I said, already grown. About a
Yeah.
week later, he starts itching,
Okay.
right? I'm like, just itching, whatever, having allergy problems.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it turns out that where I got him, before I got him, he was injected with Cytopoint and he was given
Mm,
Apoquil. So he was all, you know what I mean? And so he was
yeah.
big, right? And so, okay, all right. Well, I'm not going to do Cytopoint. I did my research. I'm not doing Cytopoint because that's supposed to have long-term
Side effects in there.
consequences,
Yeah.
right? So
Yep.
we didn't do that. We did the Apoquil, right? He's supposed to be allergic to chicken, right?
Okay.
Check this out. At this time I have chickens, and this joker kills a chicken, and I'm like, he's about to break out. It's gonna be bad, and he didn't.
Okay.
So I'm like,
So
right,
yeah.
right,
Yeah, yeah.
So then I start. So I start walking back the Apoquil, like, okay, let's cut that down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. So we walk that back, and then I'm a nerd, so I start researching. Go to the vet, and they say, "Oh, we're gonna put him on science diet allergy medication." It's like $90 for like 12 pounds or something.
Yeah. Yep.
Something stupid like this.
Yep.
And hold on, Lionel, I'm getting there. He says, "Not the chicken, it's the byproduct." Right?
Yeah.
No. So, and then I'm like, well, what makes that food special? And it's hydrolyzed protein. Okay, cool. So I find me a bag that I can afford with hydrolyzed protein, whatever, right? Well, a little time goes by. He's all cleared up, whatever, and I don't breed the dog, and he goes back to where I got him from. I'm not going to go into it, but he's not with me anymore. And where he went, they didn't do any of this.
Oh,
and the dog's fine now, 2 years later. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
yes, but how much of it is the food, like my
true.
man
Yep.
said? How much of it is having pet owners and people with a weak stomach that won't let the dog just kind of suffer through it one time and deal with and
Yes. Yep.
adapt? How much of all that is into play and how much is actually a dog that really has an allergy? I don't know. But I
You
know
know
that
what I feel too is lack of sun, vitamin D. It's
hmm
lack of sun.
yeah, it's crucial.
Yeah.
That's the reason we get the puppies outside in the little
Ex-
playpen before,
exactly. Yep.
you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. But like they said, all my dogs now, like my dogs eat raw. They eat chicken every day
Yeah.
and no problems. So
See,
it's not the
it's
chicken. Like my
it.
man said, it's the
Yeah.
byproduct. It's the
Yep.
process.
Yep.
So I'm not the one to say that somebody shouldn't feed the dog kibble or whatever. Do what's right
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
your
No.
dog.
No. Yep.
Do what's right for your lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yep.
But it's not the chicken. In
I
my
agree.
in the case I'm talking about. You know
Correct.
what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's
What
true. It's
about
true.
ABs? They get allergies?
They do. They do. They you know same thing. Yeast is mainly their issue. Is they got the red paws, and then you could see it through the webbing and stuff. But same thing. You kind of need to know your dogs, and like you said, let them go through it, see what works, and maybe they play it out. Um,
Yeah.
and mainly I had that issue with Bessel. And I feel that because he comes from Oregon, and it kind of rains most of the year out there, and I guess being in this area, whatever, it's wet, damp. He's just sitting in. So I believe that's where it came from, like. But then I
You
started
brought it
doing my
with them?
research, yeah, and I kind of, at first I was like, all right, let me see what's up. Let me give him some antibiotics. Let me do my little
Your diligence, yeah.
exactly. And at the end, it played out. The sun really helped them, like really helped them. And but at the same time, you know what worked for me? Apple cider vinegar. Throw that
Bingo.
throw that sucker in the water, a little bit in their food. Soak their paws in apple cider vinegar, and bro, in less than a week, you'll see like, oh shit. Even those tear stains that they get. If you have white dogs, you'll be like, damn, it started disappearing.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I get tear stains a little bit, but
Yeah.
mainly when like I don't have to wipe them every day,
Yeah, yeah.
but a couple 3 times a week. You know what I mean? Something like that. Just get out there with a rag. That's the kind of stuff my wife does.
Okay.
Like I'm feeding dogs, I'm whatever, and she's kind of
Like
ragging them
clean them up.
down.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, it's it makes a difference.
Yeah.
The yeast we deal with the yeast because it's real humid here.
Mm,
Like I said, that's why with the misters,
yeah.
I have to be. I call it stingy with them.
Okay.
I might turn them on in the very heat of the day for an
Yeah, yeah.
hour. You know what I mean? Get it, and then they have fans going and turn everything off. Try to get it as dry as I can so they're not sleeping in moistness.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
But it's Arkansas, baby. It's the jungle. It's the jungle. Check it out. My parents used to have an RV, right? Just the old motorhome, like 80s kind of on
Yeah,
a
yeah.
van
Correct.
motorhome. And the thing about a motorhome is it sits a lot.
Okay.
You buy this thing and you're only going to go a couple times a year, maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's parked in one spot, and these vines start. It's like something out of a movie, dog. These vines start growing out of the ground, and they they grab the tire like they're gonna pull it back into the earth. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
you don't notice it in one day. And you're like, are they? Is that trying to eat that thing? We're in the jungle. So it's humid, it's moist, it's all that. So that's one thing we deal with a lot,
Oh, okay.
a lot. Just have to keep the ears flushed out,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, so to keep them clean. Like I said, My wife's real good at that stuff.
Yeah. I think my wife, yeah, she's the same way. Once, like I said, the dogs are loose in the backyard, but when I'm not here, she'll bring them inside the house. And like I said, they're well behaved. They don't go on the couches, they'll, just lay on the floor in the living room or in the kitchen. And I'm coming from work and I see dogs and I'm like, yo, like, she's like, well, they're fine. They're behaving. The house is
Yeah.
clean. Nothing's broken. And I'm like, yeah, but they got to go outside. I'm here now.
Yeah. Yeah. I I'm kind of the one that wants them in the house.
Okay.
And like I said, cultural things we deal with dogs. My wife didn't grow up with dogs like that.
Okay.
She loves them. We have them. You know what I mean? But she didn't grow up with them like that. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And I kind of didn't either, but I wanted that.
Yeah.
So as soon as I got my chance to have that, I'm like, yeah. You know what I mean? So it's a learning process. We all get into it at a certain point.
Yeah. No, my
And
wife, my wife was allergic to dogs. But she's like, I don't care. And
what she do? She take Apoquil?
no, she just no, she literally just was like, screw it. You know what? I gotta fight this off, and she's good now. She does,
Yeah.
could be around the dogs and everything, and she loves them. She's like, I love dogs. It's like that's not gonna stop me from doing it. So
Yeah. That's my other part of the allergy thing is I have a girl, her name's Nellie. She's a lilac tri girl, right?
yeah,
When I first got her, I was giving my dogs, what's the heart guard, next guard, that
yeah,
stuff,
okay,
right? I do it now different, but at this time I'm doing that. I only have a couple dogs, so we're doing that. And I got her at 8 weeks, and I had an extra pill, extra chewable, so I gave it to
yeah.
her, and she broke out.
Oh,
Hives everywhere, right?
yeah,
Now I know, let him get about 4 months, a little older, 5-6 months before
yeah,
you give
yeah,
him that
yeah,
stuff. But this is how I learned, and I see her just break out. My wife's like, take her to the vet. I'm like, no, we're not gonna do that because they're gonna see this diluted dog walk in there with hives, and they're
yeah,
gonna start the Apoquil side of point parade. You know what I mean?
yes, yeah,
So we didn't. We just let her go through it, gave her a little bit of Benadryl, and treated her here at the house, and she's fine.
yeah,
But I think a lot of it is you get people with a weak stomach, and they rush the dog to the vet, and they got that stuff lined up. It's under the counter. They already got
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
It's on deck, baby. Just walk in
yeah,
there with some hives, and you can
yeah.
walk out with Apoquil and Cider Point. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And you know what? You're right, Cole. I sold this Frenchie to one of my childhood friends, and but he loves this dog, right? But he has a jasmine tree in the backyard. So bees, he has bees in there and stuff. Well, this Frenchie likes going after the bees, and she
Yeah.
doesn't learn. She have gotten stung, and then she starts, hives everywhere, starts getting swollen and stuff. And first thing is, I gotta take her to the vet. He goes, and I was like, call me, just call me, and it should be all right. He's like, no, okay, put her out there again. He said the following week, and same thing, a bee stings her. He's like, man, Dennis, I just spent like $4,000 at the vet because she had to stay overnight and all this. And I was like, give her a Benadryl, bro. Give her a Benadryl and just wait. If she's not passing out, you're good. She had hives. Gave her that Benadryl like 30 minutes. Hives started disappearing. She's good. And he's like, how much I owe you, Dennis? I was like, bro, you don't got to pay me. I was like, he's like, no, it's just, man, I was just scared that I was going to go to the vet and get hit with another fucking $4,000 bill. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah. Or put you on medication that your dog
exactly.
will be
Yeah.
dependent on for the rest of his life.
Yes.
Yeah. Because like I said, I was on the train, bro. I was every Friday, every other Friday. Hey, make sure you guys got my Apoquil ready. You know what I mean? From
Yeah.
work, like well trained. Well trained. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good old fashioned sucker. You know what I mean? Well trained. So, and like I said, I always want to be careful saying that stuff like that is not real. Like there are
Yeah.
dogs that have allergies, but
No, yeah, of course. Yeah.
there's the other thing too, and everybody has to decide what's really going on.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, that's why you do your due diligence. If you're buying a pup, kind of do your research, see, who's testing dogs and stuff, because, you might end up, and it's happened in the past that, people have reached out to me and trying to get a dog from me, and they be like, oh, no, you're too expensive. I found another dog cheaper, whatever. Then I get a call and be like, hey, bro, can you help me out? This dog has this. And then, it ended up that the dog suffers from like that ICH or one of those things. And I'm like, bro, there's nothing I could do. And then they're like, man, I should have just gotten the dog from you. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I get that. I get that with my dachshunds a lot. I have a litter of dachshunds, and oh, you're not the what they say. You're one of the no, not that I was the highest, but I'm. They could find it cheaper, basically, is what
oh,
they're
okay,
saying.
yeah.
I'm like, I never told you that. I never told you this was the pick and save, the bargain basement. I never said that.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it's a commitment. It's time. It's it all goes in, and I
Exactly, yep.
yeah. So, but you got any breedings coming up that we should be looking out for?
You know what? I did two breedings maybe a month ago, but my girls didn't take. And I think it was I'm the one that kind of screwed that up. I think I could have done a better job on it. So no, I'll be repeating those breedings probably in maybe October, November. And it's my girl Dossie with one of Diesel's sons. His name is Baby Diesel, and he's owned by Gamma American Bulldogs. That's a inbred or backbreeding dog. He produced from Diesel and one of his daughters.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll be using that male, and then I have my girl Athena. I'll be breeding her to Diesel, her sire. Like I said, I'm trying to create my line, so I'm doing you know a lot of inbreeding, backbreeding, just so
Yeah.
I could really lock in traits that I want, and if there's anything in there that is not wanted, let it come out, and move forward with what I want.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I think people force their human sensibilities on dogs.
All right. Yeah.
You start talking about inbreeding and stuff like that, and people
Yeah.
they think it in people terms.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not, because if
It's not.
if left on their own, that's exactly what they would do.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to. You said Doxy. That's the one you're gonna.
Dossie. Yeah. Dossie.
And Bessel.
No, Baby Diesel.
Baby Diesel. That's
Yeah.
a different one.
Yeah. If Gam American Bulldogs, he has some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You got a picture?
Yeah. I'm trying to get it for you. Did you ever see that mail I sent you yesterday? That all white mail with that
I
little.
did.
That's the one that reminds me to one of your brother's pups that he has.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
that,
can
I'm
see
telling
it.
you, that boy is belly brother to Beastie Boy from. I don't know if he's the sire of Concrete or the great grandfather. I don't know, one of those.
Ooh, yeah, it's in there. I
Yeah.
see it. Oh, I put it up. Let's see. Takes me a little second, but I can get it.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up this Baby Diesel so you can see him.
Yeah. See what you got going on over there. See what you're cooking up. Lionel says, one thing I love about these lines is the pedigree from the back shows up in the front. Baby Diesel and Tukey. That's what's up. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. bring it back forward. Image file. Here's one of them that you sent.
Oh yeah, that's the other brother from TKO and Beastie Boy. That's the belly brother. This is so cool. My girl, the breeder I got my first girl owned him, so I bred to him with that girl I got from him. So I went back to him, to do my first breeding. It was with this boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you something. Y'all don't crucify me because it's just a puppy on a paper towel, but I want to show you something. I think this is the puppy you're talking about. Okay. Okay, you got the baby Diesel up there. Let's get him up.
Diesel. First. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a Diesel son. Yeah. Bred to yeah, Diesel bred to one of his daughters from the females out of Dax American Bulldog.
So you guys do all know each other.
Yeah, like I said, here in the West Coast, we're pretty cool, with breeders out here. Like I said, everybody I'm mentioning, somehow, I've competed with them. Some of them are my friends, so it's cool. The guy that I work the most is Gam American Bulldog. He has the majority of my lines. It's in his yard. He got dogs for me. He, like you said, he came back to me and kind of mentor him on certain things, and he wanted to do the show, so I kind of brought him along and kind of showed him the ropes of showing dogs. I was showing the dogs for him at first, but I told him, bro, you gotta get out here too. I got dogs, and he finally was like, man, screw it, let's do it. And he's been doing very well for himself. He junior champion this guy right here, so he's a junior champion with the ABA.
Okay.
Yeah.
One second. Open.
That code. That's why my logo. This is Diesel right here. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, right here, look. This is Diesel. Yeah. This is my girl Kalina. It's the same thing. But this is Diesel right there.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Let me I don't know why this picture won't come up. Oh well. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you on Messenger.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Hey, bro, but one more time, let everybody know how to find you.
Well, I'm Dennis with Bergara Bulls. You guys could reach out to me in Instagram at Bergara Bulls Kennels. Facebook, it's Bergara Bulls. YouTube, it's Bergara Bulls. My website, there you go, Cole, bergarabulls.com. And hey, any questions, anything you guys have, I'm here to help you guys out. And, thanks for watching us.
Yeah. All right, bro. We're going to go ahead and let you go.
All right, for sure, Cole. Appreciate it for having me, bro.
I appreciate you coming on. Like I said, I'm going to get a bunch of you AB guys on here together. I'm gonna
Okay, yeah, for sure. Like I said, I'll shoot you names, whoever you want to talk to, you want to look at their kennels first. I'll tell you, hey, look at this, and, from there you reach out to them, and hopefully you have them up here.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get guys on both sides, though. Some Scott guys and all that.
Yeah, there you go.
And then just lob a ball up in the middle and just duck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's see what happens,
Yeah. All right, bro. I appreciate you. Be easy.
All right. You too, go.
All right.
All right.